that, son. What up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Tuna Status. We have a very, very special guest here. It's been a long time coming.
Long time.
Schedule issues, whatever the case may be, man. We've been working on it, but glad to have you up here, my guy.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to talk about everything. I know some of you guys are looking forward to this episode. We got some things to discuss, some things to get off our chest.
For sure.
Shout out to Fusion 5 Motorsports for sponsoring, the podcast. Make sure you guys go check them out. I'm gonna drop all the information in the description box below. Hit up my guy Willie. He got all your detailing needs and everything that you could possibly imagine to even put on your car to keep that paint and wheels and wrap and all that stuff like that looking on point. So let's get into it. I guess name.
Well, I guess I got a few of those, but everybody knows me as Terrence, aka HoodRich, aka the Loudmouth, aka Most Hated, and I got a new one, the Ambassador.
The Ambassador?
Yeah, these young kids started calling me the Ambassador, so.
Bridging the gap.
Bridging the gap. I'm cool with everybody. You know what I mean?
That's what's up. So now you into this car stuff. I mean, how did you roll? How did you get into the car scene?
My dad.
Yeah.
My dad was, God rest his soul. He's been big. That's who's actually on my chain. Big into cars, race cars, NASCAR, stuff like that. And he actually had me driving at 10 years old. Yeah, like my dad was a wild one. My dad was a wild one. Like no bullshit, I could drive him to the store at 10 years old, no problem. He lived in Virginia, so it was relaxed. Relaxed. There's highways everywhere. And one night he was just like, I was playing, I forget the game, but it was remember back in the day when we had the consoles, the actual consoles. One of those games I was playing, and I said to him playing, I never forget, Dad, I think I could drive a car. And he looked at me, he was like, all right, come on. And pulled my card in. It was my dad, like he had me out there driving, then he taught me how to street race. Yeah. Like my dad was a wild one, bro. My dad was a wild one. So it started there, and the passion for the machines, like the inner workings, the suspension, brakes, and stuff like that. It just grew from there. You know what I mean?
So now, fast forward, you're driving legally. You got your license.
Driving legally.
What was the first car?
It took a lot. I've always been a Volkswagen head. Yeah. Well, actually, I'm lying. My first car, I was 16. I got a job at Wendy's, where I used to live at. Yeah. And I'm walking by this lady's house. She had an 88 Cavalier wagon, $500. I saved up all my money and bought that shit. That shit died 2 days later.
No shit.
So,
but you can't get them deals no more.
I know.
You can't get them
you know what I mean? For $500, the car's pure junk.
Yeah.
It don't even have a motor in it. You know what I mean? So, but my first real car was a Mark II 87 GTI 16 valve.
No shit.
Yeah. And then after that, it was Volkswagens. I had a few Hondas. Yeah. Because back, and I'm going to put my age out there. When I was 20, late teens, early 20s, it was street racing with the Hondas. So the Hondas were the fast cars. I'm from Roxbury. Not too many people even knew how to fix Volkswagens. So
it was tough. Was a small niche. It was
tough. It was
because
tough.
Those German garages was
taxing. And there was one in Quincy. And I remember he actually ended up keeping the car because I needed a clutch, and it was so much money. I just, at the time, didn't have the money, so I gave him the car, and then I hopped in. My boy Chris, actually, that I grew up with, Wheels from Import Evolution, shot him out real fast. He had a white Honda Prelude. I bought a red Honda Prelude, and that sparked my love for Hondas.
And then he's like, yo, we outside.
Right. And then we thought we was the fastest thing out with the little Honda 4-cylinder, you know what I mean?
So tell me, what was that first summer like outside?
Man, it was a great one.
Yeah?
It was a great... Yo, listen, any and everybody, I don't care where you're from, that first summer of driving, it's a different feeling. You outside, it's a different feeling.
As long as you got that 20, and that's when $20 meant something in the gas tank.
Yo, listen, when I first started driving, I don't know if you're familiar with Hat-Offs in Eggleston, when the gas was 99 cents, bro, you could fill your whole car with $10.
Yo,
Yo,
Smooth.
you never see that again. Never see that again. So, if you didn't, and I guess the cost of living was different then.
Yeah.
But if you didn't have the money like that, you still could be outside. Parts were a lot cheaper. I mean, it wasn't as intricate as today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I mean, coilovers weren't around. Bags were weird. Bags were for the low rider dudes.
Yep, exactly.
Like if you had bags, it was like, what are you doing?
I mean, let's keep it a buck. Dudes was heating them springs, cutting
Yo,
them
I was
springs.
dead. You listen, our springs cut in half.
Yeah.
A couple of cars didn't even have them. That was getting low then. You know what I mean? That's why now when people see certain cars that I have and they're like, yo, how do you drive like that? Bro, I'm used to driving with the spring this big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's no airing up or and that's if
You
that's
just down the street like this.
That's
You
it.
know what I mean?
Car bouncing all over the place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So but that first summer being outside, bro, I remember legally outside. I remember because like I said, just hitting all the certain hood spots and the car to me was the best thing on the road. Everybody else probably was a piece of shit, but it was my car and I'm rolling, you know what I'm saying? So it definitely made me want more. Let's just put it like that.
Okay. So now you're out here, you're in the scene, you're outside,
Yeah.
you got your car. What was it like? Was you just meeting up with friends first, or was you just dive straight in to car events?
Around the time, because I'm Highland Ave up on the hill near Dudley Station. That's where pretty much we hung at. But around that time, everybody had a car. And as crazy as it sounds, we'd go to somewhere as close as Washington Park and everybody's driving their own car. Nobody else in the car, but everybody's driving their own car. So it started out for us. And back then, there weren't really meets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was shows like Bayside Expo, Hard Import Nights, World of Wheel, shit like that. But it was really like cruising around with each other.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it was.
We had the flav.
Right.
That was mainly it. But like for the most part, technically I guess it is meet because you're meeting up, but it's like you just clicking up with your people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You're going
like,
for a ride.
Either that or he's going to the movies or
Revere
Boston
Beach.
Bowl to meet up with, a couple of things.
Or
you know what I mean?
Somerville, Good Times.
Yes.
Yo,
bro.
Good Times was the spot. You know what I mean?
So it's like, yes, it might have looked like a car meet to people now.
Right.
Because the amount of cars that are in one location. But nah, everybody was inside doing their thing.
Right.
So,
It was a destination at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So, yeah, definitely. Damn, I didn't even think about it like that. It kind of was a car meet, but it wasn't.
Yeah, it was just a vibe.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
now you're outside, you're going to events. What were some of the first shows you really started hitting as a spectator or actually even being part of?
Well, I remember I got the first taste at World of Wheels. Everybody probably knows him as Stuntman, but I know him as Tyrone. We call him the Drop King because he was in my era. He was the first one outside in a Honda slammed. When I say slammed, like I'm talking that far off the ground on 19s, when 17s and 18s was big. And he had I want to say it was a 93 Accord before his 97, and he was doing shows.
Yeah.
So we would go see, support him and, go hang out with him or whatever.
Yeah.
Because that's when, I'm showing my age. That's when T3 was around in South Boston and, they kind of was running shit at the time. You know what I mean? So I remember going to my first World of Wheels event to see one of his cars, and that's when I got bit by the show bug. Like, you know what I mean? Like, damn, I want to eventually get here. I couldn't get there then. The money wasn't. I was young.
Yeah,
whatever.
it's a process.
Right. But it was like, I remember, I want to say it was, late 90s, maybe early 2000s, somewhere around there. No, it was probably late 90s because World of Wheels wasn't around too much longer after that. And, seeing the different cars. And I come from the car shows where it wasn't just an import show. Like, remember, World of Wheels was everything.
Everything, literally everything.
Hearses, bikes, whatever you wanted to build. Trucks.
All that shit. You see the Ghostbusters car there and shit.
Wild
all
shit, right? Movie cars, all types of shit. You know what I mean? So going to see that, it was like, wow, these people are really, making these cars theirs. You know what I mean? So that's where I got bit by the show bug and stuff.
Now, as we're transitioning and watching the car scene evolve, we go from forums, then we go to Facebook.
Magazines.
Magazines. You're right.
What you know about magazines?
Magazines, bro. And going to the forums and then Facebook. What's it been like seeing the evolution from the magazines to the forums to Facebook?
It's crazy. It's crazy how like when I started, even with the magazines and you know a little bit of the forums or whatever, you couldn't get information that quick. You know what I mean? Like
You gotta wait for that issue to drop.
right. Or you couldn't get the new product that quick, like this, or see what's coming out. And most stuff that was, I'm not really paying attention to it too much today. I mean, I am, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Most stuff was coming from out west. So like the dope Wings West body kits or the shit like that. You see the Civics out there or the Hondas out there coming over here with that stuff, and that's what I mean. It's crazy now how you can just go on your phone and it's there.
Yeah, it makes sense.
They
I remember
make
wanting them, the Mugen valve cover,
dog,
all that shit.
dog.
The
If
C
you-
West front bumper.
Yo, if you
all
had
that
the
shit.
Mugen valve cover and the C West front bumper,
Yo,
you was rich.
yeah,
With the racing hearts.
I know.
You was rich.
I know.
You was rich.
I know.
That boy got money.
I know.
That boy got money.
And then you had to make sure your alarm was on point.
Man, listen.
Yo, cause niggas.
Yo, listen. I had a EG coupe, and bro, when I used to leave that, living in Roxbury, when I used to leave that car for the night, we used to chain me and Wheels and my other boy Lulu that lived up the street. We would chain the clutch and the gas pedal to the steering wheel, take the starter fuse out, had an alarm, park it right under your window, cause dog,
I know.
fuck around.
I know.
Fuck around.
Cause niggas will go by, tap your car every night until
Yup.
you get tired of hearing it.
Or drive by with their exhaust to make your shit go off, to see that one night that you're sleeping.
Yo, listen, you can be dead sleep, but you
Man,
hear that skunk
you're
to
up.
exhaust.
You're up.
Wide awake.
You're up.
Or that vibrant muffler.
Man,
Yo.
you're up quick looking out that window, because if you wasn't, you might have heard your shit going down the street. Man, listen.
So talk to me about, as we make the transition, about cars back then in the scene and cars today.
Yo, it's so different that that the people today can buy a car and drive to a show.
Yeah.
You couldn't do that then. Like even with your nicer cars, and I'll take a let's say EG hatch Civic Si when those were new. You wasn't taking that car and entering World of Wheels from the dealer.
No.
You wasn't taking that car like doing events and thought you were gonna get a trophy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or even just putting lowering springs, because there wasn't air then, or there was, but it was another realm.
Yeah.
You wasn't just putting lowering springs and okay, I gotta build.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These cars today, they're making them so intricate, so crazy that you can do that. You know what I mean? Like, I'll take one of my cars, for instance, my Red Eye. Like, people say to me all the time, yo, why you don't enter that in shows? To me, that's not a show car. You know what I mean? But the car's crazy enough where it could be. You know what I mean? So just seeing the growth in the car world itself is bananas, bro. It's bananas, because I mean, even like a Hellcat or an M3, like today's M3 and E46 M3, back then, like, yeah, okay, that was an M3, it's cool, but like today the M3 is like,
Yo.
yeah. Like, this, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, you know what I mean? So the cars are, it's just, it's two different scales. It's kind of like even hard to compare, you know what I mean?
So let's talk about these shows and intended shows. What's the bar like now, man?
Yo, listen, I'm gonna start just in our culture, in our Massachusetts culture, right?
Talk to me.
There's some of these brands in shows that really set the bar.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be biased because I got the shirt on, but one of them is Beast Coast, right? The way they handpick some of the cars that they deny, like me being a car lover, I'm even still like, but the Matt that, in his team, like I've talked to him and they'll make me see other stuff, you know what I mean? So they set the bar crazy high.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Summer Send-Off, Tony's starting to come around where not everything can just be in the show. And you kind of got to do that now because the game is so saturated with wrap, air, and wheels. Like, that's not a build, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm going to look at the camera when I say this. Half of y'all can't even open your door. Building a car starts from inside.
Okay.
Let me even back up. Building a car starts with your maintenance first. Your car got to be able to run and perform like it's supposed to. It's a car. At the end of the day, it's a car. It's supposed to run and drive and be able to get you wherever. Now you're modding this car inside out. Like how we were saying with the fitment, everything's about fitment. Like these 5 and 10, 20 mil spaces to make the fitment, like, bro, that's not building a car. Like that's dangerous actually. You know what I mean? So like But
do you feel like people with spaces get the right to argue about fitment?
No. Because fitment to me is fitting the wheel to fit your actual car. Now, you may be buying a used wheel, you may be buying something that you know came from a car that don't even fit yours. But if it's a multi-piece wheel, there's a way to make that happen. I'll use your car for instance. The wheels you got on, they were on a Subaru. They're on an M3 now, and the fitment's still crazy. And I can almost guarantee, and I never looked up close, I know you don't got 20 spacers on there.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
So that's modding a car, like, you know, getting the wheels to fit, you know what I mean? The actual car safely, you know what I mean? And I know you drive that car everywhere.
And fast.
Because and you drive because
I spent a lot of money on making it go fast.
But that's modding the car. That's a real fitment to me. That spaces. I mean, anybody could go buy a wheel, get an adapter and or spacer, and just get as many spacers as they need to make it fit and put washers and do all this crazy shit, bro. One of them shits come off and you at a high speed. God bless you. You know what I mean? Like,
but their argument will be, yo, I'm not tracking my car.
It doesn't matter. You do 70 miles an hour on the highway. You could die.
But most of them ain't doing 70 miles an hour on the highway.
Because they can't, though. They can't. You know what I mean? But anything, and you know, there's always going to be an argument for why and what they're doing or whatever. And to each his own. You know what I mean? I try not to knock. I try to teach in certain situations. But it can end up bad in any situation. That's not fitment to me. Fitment, like I said, is the body of your car, getting the wheel, whatever size you're using, whatever width you're using, knowing the offsets. And I'll be the first one to tell you, I suck with offsets. There's a couple of people that know that I always call and try to help me get dialed in. You know what I mean? But that's fitment to me. You know what I mean? Getting that lip to fender with the wheel. Now you might have to use a 5-10 mil spacer.
Just to clear some.
Just to clear brakes or something like that, because not everything's always gonna fit perfect. But that's super wide, bro. To each his own, man. To each his own.
So going back to the bar, right?
Right. Oh
in our culture specifically.
Let me get back to that, because that.
Let's talk owning it. How much do you feel is on the promoter, and how much do you feel like is on the spectator, attendee, whatever the case may be? Because at the end of the day, we can complain about the cars that's in the show, but somebody had to let them in.
Yo, listen, I say it all the time. It's the promoter and the brand's fault. It's their fault. You're letting everybody in. You're not good enough. Your car's not good enough. You need to step the game up. If you let certain people in or certain cars in, and they're winning because there's a point system that's just counting points and not quality, it's your fault. Because now you see, these kids that really don't know, or, you know, I don't want to say they don't know, but don't have the real experience in car building, they'll see a newer Golf with wheels, stickers all over the place, all this shit, for lack of better words, all over the car, and know it's a point system. So now, and a lot of the stuff that I see winning on the point system in the past years, I'm not going to say this year, I really haven't been out there yet. It's Amazon, eBay, and advanced auto parts shit. You know what I mean? So, and they know there's a point system. So let me go get this car and throw as much stuff on it, you know, as I can, so I can trophy chase. And that's not what it's for. So I always. And I've had these conversations with show promoters and stuff like that. Yo, you're not protecting the culture. You know what I mean?
But it seems like there's a gap where they're missing the correlation between, you know, this is my bar that I set and the standard I expect you guys to perform at. But then you have this group, I don't want to say spoiled, but then they feel like entitled.
Say it.
They feel entitled to, oh, I'm in the show.
Right.
And I get all this praise from online, which is another thing we're going to get into.
Man.
Why am I not receiving the same love from the promoter?
You know, I say it all the time, and you know, this is even without cars. the world today is soft.
Yeah.
You can't tell somebody, listen, I come from an era is if I call you a friend or you're in my group of friends and we go somewhere and your breath stinks, I'm gonna tell you. Like, bro, I'm not gonna let you go in here like that. Yo, go get some gum.
Get your shit right.
Right, get your shit right. And then nobody does that today. Nobody's real. There's no honesty. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, a certain show that just happened and I know we're gonna get into. Oh, that shit was dope. That shit was dope. That shit was dope. Same people DMing me like, yo, that shit was trash. Like, it's okay to tell the truth.
Yeah.
It's okay to be honest. It's okay to tell your man, like, yo, that wide body, bro, like, might want to go back to the drawing board with that. Nah. Likes. Everybody's liking it. And, everything looks great in pictures. I sell cars. Certain cars, I'd be like, nah, I got to take a better picture so they see the dent. You know what I mean? Everything looks great in pictures. So people need to start going off, oh, I got 100 likes, or everybody likes this shit. Look, sharing it all over the place. Because like you said, when they get to the actual show and they have to show it in person, there's another car that beat them and then they're shitting on the car.
But niggas gotta realize at the end of the day, there's a reason why Instagram doesn't have a dislike button.
Yeah, man. Yo, and
if there was a dislike button and these niggas actually saw what the numbers was like for their car.
But I kind of wish somebody did that. Like even Facebook, like somebody do that. So the world can get back into reality because
There's
right now there's no balance.
Nah, everything's approved.
Everything's lit. Like everybody's rich on if you look at social media right now, and we can go to anybody's social media like page and look at their feed or whatever, everybody's doing great. Everybody's rich, everybody had a great day, everybody's living in big houses, taking vacations, everybody got a great job. Yo, who's broke? Who's working? Who didn't pay their rent? Like, you know what I mean? Like, where's the reality? There's no reality, bro. So, like, even in the car world, and I feel like the car scene and fashion, there's really no reality. Like, there's really no reality. And it's tough because even with the show promoters and or brands, letting everybody in, it's like, they kind of want to let those people that are getting all the likes in so they can bring...
Well, they're making it work to keep that reality going.
Right.
So yes, we'll drop the bar.
Right,
yes,
which
we'll
is
drop
crazy.
the standard. Because say if you have X person with 5,000 followers come in, they win a trophy, it's cool. Maybe out of that 5,000, maybe 250 people seeing that they went to that show.
Right.
But if you have X come in and he has 30 to 50,000 followers, and he posts that he won at that show, now you have 1,000 to 2,000 eyes on it. It's a marketing thing. It's a business at the end of the day.
I say facts, and I say it all the time. Social media is a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing for us who use it for business. It's a blessing for us who use it for marketing. It's a curse the way it's got the world. And like I said, people being soft, you can't say nothing, like the bar being real low just to get those extra views and followers. Like people got to get to a point where you're managing social media, it's not managing you. You know
what people need to realize with Instagram, honestly, that shit's a bigger music app than Spotify.
Oh, man.
Because at the end of the day, it's just all trending audio. The biggest niche
like
that's winning off of Instagram is music, musicians. Because now you have everybody that has a post that has so little to do with music. It's dependent on the music to get it further.
Yo, you know what I call it? Because back in our day, it was the ringtones.
Oh, yeah.
It's the new ringtones.
It's
Instagram and I mean, Facebook's actually starting to do it now too with the reels and all that shit, but it's the new ringtones. Because the artists are getting paid off the ringtones. Like I was reading something recently and a label pulled their artists' music off and it was a big fight because they weren't getting paid and they needed that money. It's like, but that goes back like into streaming and all that stuff. There's not, you don't go down to, I'm gonna show my age again, Sam Goody and buy a secret.
Shit.
You don't go, on
Tower Records.
Tower Records, your Strawberries. You don't go,
my God,
right, you're
dude.
not going to buy the newest CD or tape. Literally an artist drops something, put it on iTunes or whatever.
DSP, whatever.
Right, and you got it. You know what I mean? So the world is tough. It's dope, but it's tough at the same time.
So from the other side, what do you feel like these promoters need to get this shit together with these shows?
Curating your shows. That's big. Curating your shows, changing shit up, keeping people entertained. You got to think, right? And this year especially, I don't want to say I stopped going to shows, but I stopped going to shows. One, because, I have life and everything else to focus on business, but it's the same boring shit. Like, I'm not going out there sitting for 10 hours just listening to a DJ play music. The show starts at 11 or 12, and then you're not doing trophies till 3. Yeah. So there's only so many laps you can do to see the same cars. There's only so many what's ups you're going to say. You know what I mean? You do a couple of laps, you want to leave. You're ready to go. But if you're in the show, you got to wait for the trophy. You know what I mean? And I think that spacing the trophies out in the starting time and the trophies out so long is getting played. Yeah. The entertainment levels, it's the bar on the entertainment levels is low. Yeah. Like, the only one I could
Remember there used to be real vendors at shows?
Yo, real vendors. Like, where you could
Valvoline and all those niggas?
Right. Liquid Molly, shit like that. You don't see that no more. Like, people, But
that's because, why have Valvoline take up a 10 by 30 space if you could fit 8 cars?
Well, here's why. And see, they're losing the business aspect of it for that. Valvoline is going to pay a lot more for a vendor spot. If you're looking at it from a business point of view, Valvoline, a corporate company, and I'm not saying go fill your show with all corporate companies, but maybe 1 or 2 of them, and they sometimes they bring their own entertainment, and they're going to pay more for a spot than your small business. Yeah. You know what I mean? So the level of attraction isn't there anymore. Like,
yeah, but from the business end of it, you're thinking about, okay, Valvoline, they pay, let's say, whatever, random number, $500 for a spot. Right. But you're charging $80 a car. You need to fit 13 cars in a space, but now you're giving up 5 of those spots because of the Valvoline booth. Right. Now that whole club is saying, well, all my niggas can't get in. Right. Now you lose that money.
Well, see, that's when you got to make that business decision. It's tough. And don't get me wrong. These show promoters and brands, that's real work. Yeah. It's tough. Like, I remember back in the day, people that know me as HoodRich, that was actually a car club we had back in the day. You know what I mean? And we tried that show shit. Yeah. Like, bro, I don't want no parts of that. Yeah. That's a whole job. So I commend the actual promoters and brands that do that. But that's a job you signed up for. So if you're going to continue to do that and grow your brand, change shit up. Bring some entertainment. Bring some different vendors. Maybe one year you do got all small vendors. Maybe one year you got half small vendors and big corporations in there. You know what I mean? But you got to keep people attentive. Like, you got to make them want to go.
Tony his props for, because Tony every year it's a different a different message. He's trying to switch it up.
Tony's he puts in work.
This year he's doing his Vegas thing, which is going to be crazy. But also switching it up as far as adding to the standard that Mass really needs is like when Electro last year. Right. The no catfish club.
Right. And yo, you know what's crazy?
Because we know what it's like when you see them cars on IG and then you see them in person.
Shout out to them for that. Import Evolution as a whole. Like, when I seen that shit, I knew what they was doing. Motherfuckers was mad. Yeah. They were mad. And you know what's crazy? I kept saying to people, the ones that are mad are the catfish. Because, and it was people, I'm not even driving out there. I'm not doing... And like we were talking about earlier, listen, they didn't go looking for you. So if you don't go, I'm pretty sure there's going to be somebody else that goes that can fill that spot. You know what I mean? But shit like that needs to be done because, bro, like I was just saying, everything looks different in pictures. Yeah. Everything looks great in pictures. Everything. Cars that need paint jobs. Cars that are... you know how many cars I've seen, because, rap's the big thing now, that on Instagram, that rap look crazy. You see that car in person, you're like, that's the same car? I know. Like, your shit's peeling. Like, go get you just took that picture. Yo, I'm telling you.
Now, speaking on that, I mean, I've seen you working with Matt recently. Yup. What's it like being with the guys at Beast Coast? Yo. And seeing what their standards like for their shows and things like that.
I thought my standard was high. Yeah. I thought...
Because Matt don't bullshit. Shout out to my guy Matt.
Shout out to Matt. Yo, listen.
Team. Between Matt and Jason.
Yo, they are protecting the culture. Yeah. Because I thought my standard was high. Like I said, I helped them out last year at their last event. I'll be helping them out at this event. I was at their dodgeball event.
Which was wild.
Yo, crazy. That shit was crazy. That shit was crazy. The level of passion from them two Especially Matt. The way his mind works, bro, like I always call him Russell Crowe, beautiful mind, because his mind is crazy. Like the shit he's able to think up and put together, and he always doubts himself, but the shit comes out ill. Like
I know. Trust me, I've had conversations.
Conversation on the way here, he like last night he's asking me stuff and I'm telling him it's gonna be dope and he's like, like he's always doubting himself. But the level that he curates cars and he picks the cars, like I said, there was some cars he would shoot me and I'd be like, yo, that shit, like look at this, look at that, nah, that's not it.
No.
And you know, it's like, damn, I thought I really knew cars, you know what I mean? But he'll make me see another level of car, you know what I mean? Which is dope, and we need that.
Yeah.
Like even with his event last year, like, and I would tell him because, you know, I don't want to say, and I guess that's why I'm called the ambassador, because I'm cool with everybody, but being on both sides, the spectator side, and then, you know, being on his side, on that side or whatever, people at first were mad that they didn't get accepted, but it kind of made them like, damn, okay, let me step my game up. Yeah. Let me, I want to get there. And you know what the crazy thing about him, and I tell him all the time is, bro, you ain't even giving trophies. And people want to be there. Like people are talking about the collective just to attend, because if you can get to the collective, you made it. Like you're caught, like you're it. You know what I
guarantee you, and I've said this to a person before, is that shows like the collective, which are highly regarded and highly respected, people will get denied the first year, denied second year. Now let's say they get in the third year, right? If Matt was to say, this is your picture of your car now at the collective, and this is a picture of your first submission.
Look what you got. Yo, listen, you don't know how I met Matt? Remember when they were doing the collective in Boston under
which was a whole vibe. Whole vibe.
The craziest shit I ever seen, right? So I had, at the time, I had just got my 350Z and I built a 93 Lexus SC300, 400, right? And I didn't know that show or meet was going on there. I wasn't really paying attention to social media, but I was always the shit in the street. Like everywhere I pulled up, my shit was dope. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I was really like building cars. So I remember, I think I was going downtown Boston, and I see a bunch of 8086s fly by me. And I'm like, what the fuck? Then I'm driving past, and I said, yo, what is going on in there? Dog, I looped around. I pulled up in the line. Like, oh, I'm getting in there. He was like, did you? I was like, nah, I didn't know him from a hole in the wall. He was like, nah, you can't cut, nah. Maybe next time. And I'm like, yeah. He just did that? Yeah. Like, in my ego at the time
and he's so smooth with it.
So smooth.
He really don't even shit on you.
Wasn't ignorant.
But the way how he comes out, you gotta respect. You're like, damn.
So just that made me be like, nah. I said, yo, can I come in if I park the car? He was like, yeah, just park over there or something. And I'm parking, like, damn, my car's the shit. Like, I wonder what's in there. Bro, I shouldn't have been in there. I shouldn't have been in there. That, he doesn't even know this, and I don't even think I said that to him to this day. He made me step my game up. Because that next year I was in there. You know, and I applied and, you know, all that, and we became cool and shit after that. But that first year, bro, I was like, wow. Like, the level of car I seen, and I seen plates from as high as Maine all the way down to Connecticut and Jersey. In the car, like there was simple shit in there. Like I remember there was a C10. It was, I want to say white on the top, bronze on the bottom. Simple, clean, slammed. Then something I always tell him about that sticks out in my mind. I don't know if you were there the year when, I don't know who it was, but there was a Cadillac on switches. And he had 7 people driving around the meet on 3-wheel motion. That shit's
Boston Chevy, red one.
No, it was blue. It was like a sky blue color. And he's driving around the meet. It's him and the dude in the front, 3 girls, because you remember the old caddies, you could fit, man. 3 girls. Then he had like 4 people in the back. And he's riding around 3-wheel motion. The car is clean, but he was riding around 3-wheel motion so you could see the undercarriage. Like, shit like that. You had everything, like I said, from the C10 and the Caddy
to... It's crazy seeing him just building cars, though.
Yo. That's building a car. Yeah. I say that all the time. Shout out Maurice and them from La Familia. Yeah. They build cars. Because even Maurice, like, he's had... Don't get me wrong if I chop up your car, bro, but he's had a Impala that he's been building probably for the last... shit, I know of 10 years.
Yeah.
And it's the chroming, it's the undercarriage, it's the getting that candy paint to lay, it's the interior, it's the hydraulics. They build cars, you know what I mean? So back to Matt though, like, he is one that is really setting that bar. He's the one, well, that his brand, you know, the way they curate cars, the way they tell you no, you, because, and you know, he gives them reasons why, you know what I mean? If they want to take heed to it, cool. If not, but I think Beast Coast as a brand has built enough of a following, for lack of better words, and people wanting to be a part that at least they are protecting the culture. You know what I mean?
So we've talked about the local events.
Yep.
Some things that should change.
Yep.
On both sides.
Yeah.
Spectator.
Yeah.
Promoter.
Step it up.
Now we're talking about out-of-state shows.
Yo.
Do you want to go to Boston going out of state, or do you want to go from out of state coming to Boston?
Ooh, I love my city, but I guess we'll go out of state coming to Boston.
Okay.
Yo, I don't know if you even paid attention to my Z. It's that started out gray and turned red. Oh, I had it repainted red. Shout out Mike's Auto Body, my painter. They do great work. I remember one year, and I'd never been to one before. I got invited. I didn't get invited. A couple of my New York boys were going to Weckfest in Jersey.
Yeah.
I said, oh, cool, I could do that. Like, I'm killing shit around here. I'm cool, I could do that. Bro, that show made me start bringing my cars to shows, even here.
Yeah.
Bro, the level of car that is as close as Jersey, that is as close as Connecticut, that is as close as even New York, the way everybody else builds cars, I felt like we were so behind. I felt like we were like, and you know, I've never been to car shows in like Miami in the South, and I hear those are nuts too.
Yeah.
But I feel like us as a culture, we are behind. Like we need to step it up a lot. Like I remember there was one car there, 3GGS, wide body, metal wide body. It was a royal bluish color, full carbon interior. Like I'm talking from headliner to he had 4 bucket seats in the car. It was built like a drift car.
Yeah.
4 bucket seats in the car, door paint, like everything was carbon fiber. The level of car that I see, and I go to some like 7-day Prime NYC shit. I've been to a couple of their events. Even my boy Wayne from PCNY, he does old school drive outs. The level of E30 M3 they build, or 3 Series, or E31s, or like, we got to step it up a lot. Like, we're doing good. There's some hot cars out here, especially this year, but we got to step it up. Because if we were like, if they did like Battle of the States or something.
Cooked. But the thing is, I had that same impact, no bullshit. And I'll shout out to my guys, Sean and Jay from Tuna Evo and stuff like that, and the whole family over there. But I remember going to that first Tuna Evo Philly in 2014, between 2014 and 2016 era. I remember when we went out there, it was Sal and all the guys and everybody, we all went out there.
And Sal shit was dope.
Yeah.
The TC. No, it was the FRS.
It was the FRS when he painted it green.
Yep.
The shit I was seeing
wild shit.
Like, niggas had full carbon interiors, carbon individual bucket seats.
Yo, it's like, who's building this shit?
I'm seeing shit that looked like it was just painted the day before. Wheels just built the day before. And I was just like...
It'll change your whole outlook.
I'm like, this is crazy.
Yo, and that's what I mean. Like, and I think that's why as a whole, like, we always get overlooked. Because when the outsiders do come here, there's not an abundance of that. You know what I mean? But yo, states as close as that. Like I said, I haven't been to anything further. I'm just seeing the shit around us. And bro, telling you, a lot of you boys think your car's the shit. Go drive to Jersey. Go drive to New York to one of them car shows out there and see what's really popping. You know what I mean?
But what's crazy is that, honestly, I will never say that Mass doesn't have the cars.
No, we definitely do.
Being in the lane that I've been as a photographer and networking and seeing other photographers work, there's so many cars in Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, that just don't come out to just mass events.
A lot of cars, bro.
There's a lot of cars that just don't come out to mass events.
You know how many times I've been to New York shows and I see mass plates on cars I've never seen. And it's like, yo, wait, you just built this? No, I've had this for 10 years.
Cars.
Vermont, don't sleep on Vermont. Main cars.
When you see those cars, like all that shit you see at like Bureaucracy.
Yep.
Eurobill.
Yep.
And dudes that leave from here and go to Canada that just happened.
Yep.
You're like, where are these cars at?
Yep.
There's cars that you'll see at Beast Coast that you don't see at Summer Send Off or IE or
I got
other shows and shit like that.
I got a great job when I was helping out Beast Coast last year. I was actually checking the cars in, so I get to see the cars first. Bro, the cars I was seeing, and I'm like, where the fuck was these cars? Like, how did you even see these cars? And those are the people you're talking about that don't do mass shit, but they'll come out for certain stuff. And I guess that gets back to what we were saying about the promoters and the brands. If they were curating the right way, these cars would be there. Yeah. Nah, they just go to everything else around us. You know what I mean? Which is crazy. It's crazy, but it's the way it is.
So now with these promoters coming here, how did you feel about it? Because that was the big thing that I got announced this season.
Tuna Evo.
Yeah.
That was a dope show.
Okay.
That was a dope show. I enjoyed it. I actually had to take off a little early because I had some work to do, but that was a dope show. They brought out a lot of cars. Yeah. There was, and I actually was helping out Matt at his booth, the Beast Coast booth, but there were a lot of great cars there rather than, you know what I mean? Yeah. Where most of the time there's more than great cars. There were a lot of cars there that you could tell that they took the time to really pick. You know what I mean? So the Tuna Evo, shout out to them. Great show. Hope you guys come back and do more because we need that. You know what I mean?
Now, the other promoters, we had Elite Tuner.
Yep.
Import Expo. And Clean Culture.
Yep. Clean Culture's event, it didn't happen yet.
It didn't happen yet. Yep. It's coming in September.
Yo, listen, man. I'm going to say this before we keep getting into it. Massachusetts. If you're from Massachusetts, we are very passionate about what we do. Sports teams, dressing, whatever. We're even if we're not doing the best, we could be losing, and we still are the shit. Don't come here and try to money grab. Don't come here and not give your best because we will shit on you. We will shit on you. So I just want to put that out there because there was. Let's just get to it.
Yeah, that's how be the dead
Import Expo.
Yeah.
This past, was it Sunday?
Yeah.
Very disappointed. Very disappointed.
Talk to me.
First of all, and I'll start here. It's the patrons or the showgoers' fault for paying these high fees.
Okay.
If you can't complain about something after you pay for it. You can't complain about something after you've been there all day and you knew what it was a couple of months beforehand. You are supposed to complain about it when it gets brought to you.
Okay.
Not pay the money and then want to shit on them. You know what I mean? Now, these shows being $80, $90, $100, to me, that's crazy. But
that's the standard that they have out of state.
Right. And besides the stuff I've been to locally around Massachusetts, the standard of stuff they have out of state blows my mind.
Yeah.
But it's like when they come here, that standard, I don't know if that's because of us or they're not doing their due diligence and homework. Like I know, well, I don't want to say I know, but from what I could see, the Import Expo staff or team, they didn't do their due diligence. And if they did, they must have been going to Bass Pro or something. You know what I mean? Because.
So how much do you feel like tickets should have been at that show?
No more.
Keep in mind from both sides. One where, because let's face it, I see all this money grab shit and whatever. At the end of the day, it's a business. They coming out here and they come in and make their money.
What you just said, people got to understand too. If these brands or show promoters or whatever said they weren't in this to make money, they'd be lying.
Yeah.
It's a business at the end of the day. I'm pretty sure every one of them got an EIN. I'm pretty sure every one of them does taxes. I'm pretty sure everybody's looking for a profit.
I don't know about taxes all.
Well, I just became a citizen, so I pay taxes. You know what I'm saying? But everybody's a business, right? So you can't always be like culture.
Yeah.
Because some of these brands, and I'll use Import Expo, they're all over the United States.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So to do that costs money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. If you want to stick to the culture, you go to the Cars and Coffees, or you go to those type of events that are really for the car lover, right? Not for the showgoers or somebody who's trying to compete or something like that. And with these touring, and they're doing tours or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a difference, you know what I mean? So the quality of show makes me want to say that should have been a $30, $40 show. The quality of show.
Okay.
Now, I've been to this same event in New York.
Yeah.
The quality of that show was an $80 show.
Yeah.
Like, it was different. Like, and the crazy thing is to me, like, even if they didn't come Scout or Mead or Network or whatever, why didn't you just use that same blueprint? Like, you could have brought that same blueprint and you wouldn't have had all this backlash.
Yeah.
But you didn't. You used one of the worst parking lots at Gillette, right? And I said that too because you didn't go.
No.
Well, the parking lot.
But I've been to Gillette.
Well,
I've been to Gillette.
that parking lot, the weeds weren't even cut. So, like, you didn't do your due diligence enough to even know what you were using. You know what I mean? To clean it up a little bit. And even if you had to get out there and spend the extra money to make it presentable, right? Not only that, your level entertainment was horrible. Some of our local brands had to reach out and call food trucks because there was only one food truck for 800 people. Like, the wording, and this is stuff that I'm picking out that they should have been on top of. I'm not going to get into everybody's gripe or money grab, da-da-da-da-da. Well, I can say this is what makes it feel like a money grab.
Yeah.
The wording on their rules, even something as small as this, it says, and I'm just going to go over it briefly. It says, no this, no that, no this, no that. No cookouts, coolers allowed, right? One of my good friends, Phil, he was like, yo, read this fast and tell me what it says. Da-da-da-da-da, I'm reading it. No coolers, da-da-da-da-da. He said, now read that back slow. It said, no cookouts, coolers allowed. But if you read it fast, so people were pissed off because it looks like it said no coolers allowed, but you got these people outside in 95-degree weather with no water, no vendors, no nothing. Like,
that's crazy.
Right. So people were mad about shit like that.
Yeah.
Then it came to the judging, and I didn't really see the judging. I saw a couple of small. There weren't really no judges going around. I don't know if they didn't have the staff for it or whatever, but it looked like everything was prejudged from their invite list.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which you can do that, but don't give out these cards and make it look like people are going to be coming around talking to you about your car. And I don't know about their other events because I've never been judged at the other events, but Massachusetts is used to that.
Yeah.
Coming around, okay, what do you got? Pop your hood, da-da-da-da-da, this, that, and the third. So now you got...
I get that.
Yep.
But, I mean, let's cut it off, but do you feel like... Because we've been here long enough. We've seen the turmoil and the kickback after the show and stuff like that. Do you feel like Massachusetts cars are ready to be judged, honestly?
No. There's a lot. Yo, listen, from what I know of this season, from what I've been around, and there's been this pretty much the same amount of cars that always show up and show out in the last couple of years. There's maybe a handful of cars. There's maybe a handful. I'll be generous. There's about a dozen cars that I can say could probably go anywhere in the United States and compete. That's just from what I see. So don't take that personally, like, oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but we've seen the posts all day long.
And a lot of y'all gotta stop trophy chasing or wanting trophies because your car isn't there. Like we were talking about with the Instagram and the likes.
Yeah.
Stop letting Instagram make you think you got a show car, because you don't.
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah.
Just because you got tilty wheels and you're sitting real low on air, because to me, air sitting low is cheating. Because you don't drive like that. You know what I mean? There's levels to it.
Yeah.
There's levels to it. So, but you post a couple of pictures and you get mad likes, and now you think you're entitled to a trophy. Nah, that's not the way it works, man. You gotta stop doing that. Stop doing that, man. Stop doing that.
Yeah. So back to what you were saying about the judging.
Yup.
And lack of staffing.
Yup.
And
dude, they were, not to cut you off, but they were so unprepared. I knew people, the show, I think Roland started at 9 or 8. No, it started at 9. I knew people that wanted to get there an hour early because they made it seem like, a bunch of out-of-state cars were coming. So, a couple of the early birds were like, yo, let me get there. They were just rolling in. Not only that, they didn't even have the rolling tent ready. They were putting the floor together and their tents up as rolling was happening. I was told, and I wasn't there, but I was told as late as 10 o'clock, they're still putting stuff together. Like, you're making people feel like they got. You know what I mean? Like, and I think it's because the level of brand that they are.
Yeah,
you
so
know what I mean?
They got the bar.
Right.
The bar was set
people,
real high.
Right. People think you're gonna be doing certain things because of your brand. So when those certain things don't happen, then you get those mass holes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is crazy. But the judging, as far as the judging, like, you can't do people like that and expect that to be no backlash.
Yeah.
You can't not really judge. Even if you had the cars pre-pegged, let's just say you did. I don't know 100%. You still got to make people feel some type of way, especially people from Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Because we're passionate. Like I said, even if we're losing and shit sucks, like we're still gonna talk shit. You know what I mean? And we do it to our locals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So some out of state dudes or out of state brand that looks like it's just a money grab.
I haven't seen this much of a response to a promoter about people getting finessed since Forever Slammed.
Wow, yeah, you're right. You're right. And I was surprised. Like, of course, I'm always boisterous. Like, I'm the no filter dude. I don't give a fuck what nobody thinks, says, or whatever. Because I'm speaking the truth. You know what I mean? So I made a little story today and said what I said.
Yeah.
Bro, you hear my phone buzzing?
Yeah.
My DMs are still like, yo, bro, yeah, da-da-da-da-da. But a lot of y'all don't have a leg to stand on. A lot of them do. So it's like 50-50. You know what I mean? These are the days of let's jump on the bandwagon and talk shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Rather than I really, but like it's crazy the amount of Facebook posts, Instagram posts from people I don't even know. Like, you know what I mean? You're right. I haven't seen this in a while.
It's just crazy because being a former promoter, I don't take it too much when it comes to social media because I believe in protecting myself from energy and everything like that. But I get both sides where on one side, you're a promoter, you're coming into a new city and you're used to carrying this bar of having bangers at really premium spots.
Right.
The prices is what the price is. At the end of the day, they gotta provide travel, food, accommodation for not only for themselves, their team, shipping all their gear, equipment, whatever the case may be. Plus, at the end of the day, leave and go home with a little bit of change.
Because it's a business.
If you think that somebody ain't trying to make a little money to go home to their family,
you crazy.
Get a little vacation, you're bugging.
Crazy.
I'm just gonna keep it a buck.
Maybe buy a new car or whatever they.
I respect the idea for the community. And
there's those events, not to cut you off, but there is those events for the community.
And I 100% respect it and I get it.
Right.
But when it costs money, you gotta at least try to break even.
Yeah.
Then I hear the complaining about the cars and I'm like, you hear the complaining about the cars, but nobody's really talking about, okay, this is the car I lost to, but here's a picture of my car. And let the internet debate that. Because a lot of people complain about the car that they lost to, they're not posting a picture of their car.
One thing I do want to touch on though, because everybody, this is the part I didn't see, everybody was like, oh, the sponsors were winning. It wasn't the sponsors that, I did some research.
Yeah.
It wasn't the sponsors that were winning. It was people affiliated with the sponsors that happened to roll together as friends.
Yeah.
It wasn't the actual sponsors or whoever was titled on the flyer. So we got to stop that. That's just us being mad. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong. A lot of people have a lot of valid points about this. You know what I mean? But some of them is just like, bro, come on.
So at this point, what do you feel like the people expect as far as a response from Import Expo? Money back? Like, what do people?
They'd be crazy to expect money back.
Because
I hope nobody's
you
expecting
can
no
voice
money
your
back.
gripe. I'm not
Right.
saying you can't voice your
Right.
gripe.
Right.
But at this point, okay, your point's been heard. It's been made.
Right.
I've seen posts shared all day.
All day.
What do you think the community from Mass wants?
See, what tough to deal with. So, like, I don't know what to make us happy. You know what I mean? As a whole, you know what I mean?
And do you think they could have had an event and Mass wouldn't have anything really negative to
No,
say
there would have been something to say.
Yeah.
I mean, we do it to, like I said, we do it to our locals. Tony gets the backlash every year or something, and he's busting his ass every year. And I'm, dude, like I said, me being on both sides of shit, I always gotta but the dude is busting his ass, and he's been putting on for us every year. You know what I mean? Pretty much every one of our staple brands.
Yeah.
I'm going to bat for at some point. You know what I mean? So I don't think there could be a point where we're happy, because you know how Massachusetts people are, man. We're dickheads.
We're a tough crowd.
Like, you know what I mean? Even if it was
Ask Kyrie. Ask Kyrie.
Ask Kyrie. You know what I mean? But even if everything was great, something would have been bad.
Yeah.
And to expect.
It's why do you think that people really thought that they'd be able to take their Accord?
Yo, you was not parking your Accord on the field.
That was the one thing that really got me. Like, people was really thinking.
You know what the crazy thing was too? Their flyer setup showed the field, the parking lot. You could have easily looked up. No, people just got caught up in Gillette Stadium. They didn't look up where.
I don't believe. Yo, I think it's trolling. But I honestly think, as a grown ass adult, you really thought that you was gonna like
put your two chair on the 50-yard line.
Fucking Taylor Swift puts to fucking rent that stadium out. And promoters put up to. You think these niggas is gonna pay that money?
You made a valid point earlier off camera. Gillette been around forever. How come none of our locals did that shit? Think about why nobody has had a real show at Gillette. And it's very easy to get to from everywhere.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Because it costs mad money.
If you think that these niggas could have gotten y'all on Gillette Field for $80, bro, cheaper than Pat's tickets, and you on the field,
fucking up their turf or grass
Tony,
or whatever it is.
Electro, Matt, my fucking self, whoever would have, Chris from Broke,
because
all these other niggas, Sean from Tuna Evo, he wouldn't even have it in Rhode Island. He would have had it at Gillette,
and that would have broke the internet because nobody can do that. So that gripe gotta kind of stop. I mean, and I get it. Some people felt like it was clickbait, but that's because people want too much instant gratification. You gotta do your due diligence and look what you're paying for. Stop throwing your money out the window, seeing a couple of words and thinking that's what you're getting. No, see what you're paying for. And that goes back to, everybody complaining about the $80. Me personally, I wouldn't have paid $80. Yeah. I'm not paying $80 to show my car.
I know, but you got a whole bunch of people complaining like that's the last $80 they had in their pocket.
Because some of them it was. Some of them got to wait till 2 weeks when they get paid. You know what I mean? That goes back to everybody thinking they balling on Instagram. Like I said earlier, somebody didn't work the hours somebody missed a paycheck, somebody got rent, somebody got a car note. Like, stop acting. To me, those people, I don't want to say everybody, so don't take it like I'm saying everybody, but a lot of those people complaining are those people. You know what I mean? It's just another way to say it and talk shit and be on that end of the bandwagon. You know what I mean? But like I said, me personally, I don't feel if I built something, it has to be reasonable to me because I already put my money into that car or got it to a certain status where I felt like it was a show car. You know what I mean? So and plus I would have did the due diligence of looking and seeing and, seeing how things were going to play out and then make the decision from there because you didn't have to pre-register. You could have paid at the gate. Yeah. So if you were that skeptical, drive up to the gate, drive by it, see what's, this shit ain't, like I did. Bro, I rolled in one of my cars. Everybody's like, you should have put it in. Well, I parked in Spectator. Like, I went, seen, I wouldn't pay for this, and I left. Yeah. You know what I mean? So,
which I even heard that was wild pricing.
Yo. Listen, and I get it. Those are the numbers they use everywhere else. but you might want to do better in Massachusetts if you're using those numbers. You got to we are a state that you got to give us what we pay for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, in the wrap of this topic, I've always told people from friends, loved ones, my kids, it will always be easier to criticize than contribute.
Yes. That's dope.
So, we see the situation that happened, how it played out. We see the response from spectators, vendors, other promoters.
Yep. Everybody talking shit.
What do we do as far as putting on for our own city so that now these promoters from the outside
got a bar.
see?
Yo.
Because it's easier to point and say, this is messed up, that's messed up, that's messed up, that's messed up, that's messed up. But if they come in with a blank slate of, we don't know what to expect, and this is not giving them grace, but what are we doing to contribute to our own community? How are we supporting each other's shows?
You know what's crazy?
Because, you have Summer Send-Off, you have IE, you have Broke, you have now Tuning Evo out here, and it's like, what are we doing to really support each other and contribute to our own scene before we can start chastising somebody from the outside?
Yo, it's crazy. I haven't been in the show scene myself or entering show cars probably for the last couple of years. But every year, and I guess I'm a part of the culture, you know what I mean? Having friends that still show and, go hard or whatever. Every year, our own shows, everybody's talking shit. From IE to Summer Send-Off to, Tuna Evo, there wasn't that much backlash. It was their first year. Oh, there was. Oh, the entertainment was horrible. Like, there was something to say, you know what I mean? But we got to protect our culture and take care of our own first and give the grace to the import evolutions in the Summer Send-Off.
These niggas work hard, bro.
Listen, I remember when Summer Send-Off, bro, was a quarter of that lot. And it was Tony and a couple people. And I remember I went there and he was running around like crazy trying to figure everything out. And then over the years, you watch it grow and you watch it grow and you watch it grow to the point where he's at capacity now. You know what I mean?
There's nights where Tony don't leave that lot.
Bro,
and I catch him sleeping.
He told me, I think, was it last year? He was like, bro, I slept here. Like, the amount that these people are putting in and
the risk that they take.
And the risk. And just to get shitted on or just to get critiqued and picked apart is crazy. We gotta stop not taking care of our own and critiquing everything. First of all, first things first, you gotta remember these people are human.
Yeah.
We're human. There's a thing called human error for a reason, right? And human error goes as far as them thinking something's gonna work and it doesn't. Like, it's just what it is. But to be picked apart and people like Tony being picked apart and they just come back every year and they try to be better every year and they try to do different things every year and they're still picked apart. So to answer that question, we have to take care of our own first and help them set a bar and for lack of better words. You know what I mean?
But it's just support, because support costs nothing. Because at the end of the day, right, and I'm going to put this real simple to you guys, right? Today alone, off of one post, I've seen so many shares contribute to the negativity. But you'll see a promoter share their flyer.
And it might have 10. Bro, we don't support. I don't know. I haven't lived in another state, so I don't know if, but Massachusetts does not support Massachusetts, and that's anything. Like, we just don't. If somebody's doing, there'll be your core group of people that'll keep sharing and talking and word of mouth or whatever. But as far as the outsiders, as far as the people attending, as far as, even the spectators, nope, we don't do that. And it sucks because you're not setting the bar for these outside vendors, brands or whatever. You're not showing them, damn, these people go hard for their own. You know what I mean? Like it's very rare that even on what's the main page on Instagram where you see all the shit popping up?
The Explore.
Explore page. Look, that's how in tune I am, right? It's very rare that you'll see an upcoming local show, something like, because it's been shared so much. But I'll see a Lamborghini from or one of those what is Matt takeovers. I'll see the takeovers all day. I'm not looking at takeovers, so that shit's being shared so much. It's making it to my explore page. Like you gotta support us first. You gotta let these people know. Look, okay, cool. You're gonna come throw a show here, but listen, this is what we doing, and put the shit in their face so much that they're seeing it. And you know what? Let's fly out there. Let's go up there to 10 that and see what that's about. And then not only that. Being at the show and bringing your A game, you know what I mean? Bringing the best you can bring, not just a bunch of shit off eBay and Amazon, you know what I mean? And setting that bar.
Yeah.
That's it. It's easy if you think about it, but I guess it's easier just to talk shit too in the back end and
like I
critique.
Said, it's easy to criticize and contribute.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens after this episode. If we see people sharing Summer Send-Off.
Yeah.
I.e.
even
Beast Coast,
even the podcast, your podcast and what you're doing for the culture, bro. Like I be talking Matt's podcast, Beast Coast. Like I'm talking to people and they're like, oh, they got a podcast, like bro.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Like,
but it's easy though because if I wanted to, I could spend a few dollars and have these couple 100,000 fake subscribers. But then what? Right. And honestly, trying to pull that shit off here, niggas will pull your card.
Yo, you know what I'm saying?
Niggas will
and
pull
it's
your
crazy.
card.
Niggas won't support you, but niggas will pull your card.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like I never understood that part of it. You know what I mean? But we don't support us. Like there's only a core group of people that support everybody. Yeah. And you don't gotta be cool with everybody. I'm not cool with everybody or friends with everybody. But if I see somebody trying to do something, it's free to share.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like stop being a hater all your life. Like at some point, you're going to need those people. You know what I mean? You're going to need those shares for anything you're doing. It could be anything. You know what I mean? So we just got to support us a little better, man.
You got to support it because I will say at the end of the day, Mass has cars.
Yeah.
Mass has venues.
Yeah.
They have promoters.
Yeah.
Mass has money.
We have a culture.
Mass has culture. Mass has media.
Yo.
The amount of talented photographers I've been blessed to meet and interact with their work. Shout out to LaShawn. Shout out to Will Gordon. Shout out to Dan Lichterman. Shout out to, Truman Forbes. Shout out to, Sean Garcia. Shout out to all these guys and whoever I missed, no disrespect.
Right.
But we have culture.
But stop loving everybody else's shit and love ours first.
What I seen today, that's not our culture.
Yo, today was just it was.
That's not our culture.
And it's crazy because somebody said, "Oh, well, you're doing the same thing." I said, "No, I spoke on what I saw. I wasn't a part of it. I saw these things. I spoke on it. You motherfuckers is mad because you spent $80. I didn't spend $80.
Yeah.
I said I wouldn't have paid $80 for that. Like, I didn't go spend the $80 and talk shit. I didn't go hang out all day in 95-degree weather and be disappointed because, one, I'm not doing the show shit, and two, that's not my cup of tea. I'm not paying that much until I know, you know what I mean? That's what it was. Now, like I said, if they would have brought their blueprint from another state and it was crazy, then that's a little different.
Because what you see with their blueprint that I've seen over the years is whenever they really dip into a new city, it's a collab.
Yeah, right.
You always see, Import Expo, clean culture.
Yep.
Import Expo, this company. Import Expo, this company.
Yep.
But, I hope they take this experience in Mass and not take it with a grain of salt, but go back to the drawing board and say, what can we take from this show and apply it to the rest of the season in other states?
Yep.
But also, if we choose to reintroduce ourselves into Mass, we come back with a better understanding of what's out there.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think they can come back?
Do I think they can come back? Yes. The reason why I think they can come back, no bullshit, and I'm keeping it a buck with you and everybody else on here, is I seen tons of people complain, gripe, I didn't win a trophy, I didn't win this, X, Y, Z, whatever the case may be, but then apply next year.
Yeah. Yo, they do it to the locals. Every year.
Apply next year.
Yo, you know how many...
So see y'all next year.
Right. See y'all at the next one. Yo, you know how many people, especially after summer send-off, because even though I'm not showing, that's one show I make sure I'm at, because I know how hard Tony works, and he puts on a good show. You know how many people I see immediately talk big shit, and the next year they did. The next year.
The biggest thing that I used to see back in the day was first class for men.
Oh, man.
The amount of niggas that got denied, and they were just pissed and going off, and those who know, right? And it's not to give this person light, because I don't like to entertain negativity, but a kid named Sawan, who used to
yes, sir.
master the show, and I never understood it. You know, maybe it's not for me to understand.
Right.
But he used to bash the show.
Yep.
Pissed off that got denied. But still will take X amount of his time throughout the day and his energy and try to sneak into the show. And then go home and make a post about why they wouldn't let him in the show, even though you were clearly denied. And then you still drove there, gave them a hard time, and carried on in such a way.
Bro, I never understood that. I never understood. You know,
but people feel the need that when it comes to a community and a culture, people want to be a part of something.
A part of something. And you know, that's what it all boils down to at the end of the day. Everybody at some point wants to be a part. They just want to be a part. Like, even if they don't have any skin in the game, they just want to be a part. They just want to be a part.
Because his coach is dope. Like, when I seen him post talking about car coach is dead, seen his dad, yada, yada, yada. And it's like, no, it's not
It's
dead.
not the same. No.
It's just you can't relate no more, because either you an old nigga like me, or you trying to fit in where you don't belong, bro.
And you know, you made a perfect example when we were talking earlier about, you know, we wouldn't be the dudes, you know, standing on the car with the praying hands or shit like that.
Y'all caught me out there like that.
Yo, listen, a lot of y'all old heads, man, like me, you gotta understand, things change.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the car scene is different now, right? But it was different when we was kids. It was different with them old heads and all the .8s and Corollas seen us coming up with the Hondas and shit. And they're like, what the fuck are these kids doing with these fart cans? You remember that shit? Like,
Bro.
it was different at a point. Now, that's not saying, you know, because it's different, we can let the culture slide and we don't have to protect it. As the older heads now, we gotta protect the culture and show them, you know, what certain shit is, and, you know, give them a little history. Because it was given to us at some point. We might have not listened to it, but we put it out there. It was put out there, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta understand, as an older dude, music changes, clothes change. Yo, like, perfect example. 10 years ago, my shorts would have been down here.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, 10 years.
Listen, man, if
like,
you think you can still relate to the shit that's going on here, I bet.
You can't.
Think of what you was riding to a car meet, listening to music, right?
Yo.
What you was playing when you was going there at 20 years old.
Tuh.
Now go sit in a 20-year-old's car now and listen to what's playing in his car on the way.
This shit sounds so different. Because make them say,
Respect your lane, bro.
In 21 Savage, Master P and 21 Savage is
different, bro.
Like this, bro. So you gotta understand, like, shit changes, man.
My
like,
shit was, have you ever seen a Chevy with the butterfly?
Yo, that was my shit too on the low.
Stunting is a habit.
The bass in that song,
bro.
Crazy.
Now it's, I just want to rock.
That's it.
It's different. Respect your lane. Not saying you can't enjoy it, but evolve in it, mature in it,
embrace
pass
it.
The torch.
Right.
Pass the torch.
Because, you know, we don't, and, you know, in a few years' time, their culture's gonna change.
Yeah.
Like, it just keeps changing. You know what I mean? And like you said, you gotta embrace it. You gotta, you know, enjoy it at some point. It keeps you young. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be the old dude on the porch, like, oh, fuck them kids. You know
but just know that we got our own. Not saying niggas can't be mingling.
Right. Because
we got our own corner in the lot now.
That's it. Right. We over here.
Corner.
We ain't on the maiden stage no more. You know what I mean? And
it's all right.
Okay.
To pass the torch.
It's okay. It's okay. You know
this car
I mean?
shit's our midlife crisis at one point.
That's it. You know what I mean? When we pop up with Porsches and shit and you know other shit, it's, hey, we just trying to feel young. That's it. And it's okay. It's okay to let the kids do their thing. You know what I mean? It's okay. Like, some of the shit's a little wild. I ain't gonna lie, but
that's when we got real.
We can't control it. So don't hate it. Embrace it.
So now, as we wrap these things up, what I do with every podcast, and not to be morbid, and I appreciate you taking your time and chopping up with me. Really do, my guy.
Yo,
for real.
Because it's been a long time.
I know,
Bro.
we touched base on a lot today.
Yeah.
But I'll generally ask 2 questions. The first being, what was your favorite year in the car scene?
Ooh.
For you?
Does it have to be 1 year? Can it be like a span of time?
You know what? Bless me.
Because it's hard for me, right? Because I really enjoy this. Like, even me being out of the scene right now, I still enjoy the cars. I'm the passion for the cars. But for me, the span of time that was the best, it was the World of Wheels time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I say that because if you're from Boston, you know what I'm about to say. If you had a dope car, I mean, you made me realize there were car meets then. We just didn't look at them as car meets, right? But if you had a dope car pulling up to Malcolm X Park and or Washington Park on a Sunday, everybody was there. From your early Import Evolution crew and high tech to the old heads with the old schools, like that strip of MLK.
Yeah.
That was the best, like, knowing you didn't have to do nothing else but go wash your car and pull up to the park on Sunday was crazy. It was like, I used to call it our Crenshaw.
Yeah.
That was our Crenshaw.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was always, so much good happened to me there, like so much fun times I can remember. A lot of my memories are from there, you know what I mean? So that's my span of time. And I want to say that was like, 97 for me, 97 to like, maybe early 2000s, You know what I mean? And it's crazy. I guess I was building cars to pull up to Washington Park on a Sunday. You know what I mean? Which, the bikers were there, like everybody. And
that reminds me of the main stage on Paid in Full.
Definitely.
Yep.
Because you know what's crazy? It wasn't that long. That part of the street isn't that long because it's only the part from the playground, the top of the basketball courts to the end. And that ain't that long, but the amount of cars that were double and triple parked, like I said, the OGs, the young dudes with the Hondas, the bike crew that was up at the top, like, it was fun, bro. It was fun. So that's my span of time that I can say I really, really enjoyed. You know what I mean? I try to enjoy every day.
Yeah.
And especially, going out and seeing the cars, which I still love.
Yeah.
But that time for me.
So, and the second question, and I always give the disclaimer not to be morbid or anything like that.
Yep.
Fair warning, with any foregoing. But so at the end of the day, when it comes to it, what's something that you want to be known for or respected for by friends, peers, people within the car scene, people at work, people in life? What's something that you want to be respected for by at the end of the day, and at least knowledge for?
Being as real as I can be, like being as honest as I can be, and being as loyal as I can be. Like, I always find myself in situations where I'm too honest and people don't like it. Or, people from the outside looking in hear my honesty and it doesn't fit them the right way. But at the end of the day, I'm just an honest person. Whether you like it or not, good, bad, or ugly, I'm going to tell you the truth. The loyalty part of it is just a cloth that I'm cut from that people just turned into a cool tattoo. Like, I'm loyal. If I say, you're my friend, which I don't use that word loosely because most of my friends are brothers because I've known them forever, or friends like yourself that, we've grew to have a relationship. Even if you're wrong, you can't do no wrong. You know what I mean? I got your back no matter what. So the honesty and the loyalty, you know what I mean? And I stand on respect, even if I don't like somebody. Like, I'm not going to call that person out their name, talk behind their back or whatever like that. It's just having morals. So I guess the answer to that is morals, having morals. You know what I mean? Honesty, realness, and respect and loyalty. You know what I mean? Know I'm going to be loyal. Know I'm going to tell you the truth. And I'm going to rock with you till the wheels fall off.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys stopping by the pod and chilling with us. Appreciate you stopping by the
Appreciate you
pod.
having me again, bro.
You know, long overdue.
Yes, sir.
Once again, shout out to Fusion 5 Motorsports for sponsoring today's pod. We got through a lot today. Appreciate you guys rocking through with us.
Yo, cars are stupid.
You know, where can they find you at? Let them know the
Yo,
socials.
listen, on socials across the board, at HoodRich Boss. My business page at Triple T Transport. If you need a tow, junk car, hit me up. The number 2 Sons Auto Brokers. As many of you know, I sell cars, but I'm just out on the street, man. Say hi to me. I'm not a bad guy.
Shout outs.
Shout out Matt from Beast Coast. Rex for having me once again. You know what I mean? All my proper crew, you know who I'm talking about. And listen, the whole culture. Listen, know at the end of the day, even if I came off to you wrong, it was out of love. This is our culture. I'm just trying to protect it. I'm trying to get everybody to realize and understand the differences. That's all. That's all.
All right, guys. Till the next time, y'all know the vibes. Stay up. Stay blessed. Peace.
Peace.
That's